We have a party, the Republicans, who don't seem to want to abide by the Constitution. January 6th is a prime example of that. And now they're all free and they're in charge. You know what? Maybe it's time for Jessie. I only did one term. I'm owed a second. I took an oath to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I view after January 6th, the Republican Party is a domestic enemy to our Constitution. I can't get any bolder than that, can I? I just came here today to show my support as a graduate of Roosevelt and tell them how proud I was of what they did of keeping ICE off of this campus. This is a place of learning, and you learn things like the Constitution. You learn about warrants. You learn about things of that nature. And what we're getting right now is violating all that, what kids are being taught.
I think Jesse's message here about
we're a third world country now. You want to know why? I'm an expert. I've been to them. I spent 17 months in Southeast Asia while the draft dodger was playing golf, right? You know how I know we're a third world country? Because in third world countries, they have the military doing their police work in the cities when you walk around. I was in the Philippines the day Ferdinand Marcos declared martial law and went under dictatorship. We went from nobody to a guy with a machine gun on every corner. That's what happens in a dictatorship. In comes the military. That's what's happening here. And people better wake up to it. You want to read something? Then read your history of Germany and start comparing the tactics of what happened in 1930s Germany to what's happening here.
He's of course right. And
all right. Well, first off, I want to say thank you for your service, Mr. Ventura. But, sir, listening to what you are saying, do you understand what you are saying? That this country is a third world country. And we know this because we got havoc in the streets, we got corruption everywhere, yada, yada, yada. So, Mr. Ventura, I would ask you, sir, maybe one day you will see this video, sir. I'm not sure. But once again, thank you for your service. And, I know you are officially a Mongo's MC Club card owner and a member. Okay, you have to take that in consideration, right? Which to certain government branches are, well, domestic terrorists in our own country. Wouldn't you say that also, sir? I think probably you would. Now, I want to put all that aside, Mr. Ventura, and what I want to ask, sir, is in a third world country, when you have havoc in the streets and everything is so corrupt, what do? They come in and they get all the bad people out and they start over again with morals, integrity, and legit stuff. So we know our country has been invaded for many, 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 many years by illegals. That's what ICE agents do. They pick up people that are wanted and illegal and very bad people that are here in America. But see, in their country, they ran because, well, they were wanted for killing thousands of people. But now they're over here, sir. Now, and I have one other question for you, sir. Now, if you were a Navy SEAL, sir, and you were at a checkpoint and you were going through vehicles, sir, and you were checking vehicles as you would do being a Navy SEAL, and you have a roadblock and you're checking everything that comes in, and you were in front of a vehicle and you stopped Alabaka Makalaka, and oh, he's on this list, right? You would take him, right? Boom, take him. Now, if someone came through that checkpoint and they didn't agree with what you were saying, and you were standing in front of their vehicle and there was another Navy SEAL or military guy pulling in information and checking them out, and they get mad or F yous and we're here for, and they floor it, and you're in front of that vehicle, Mr. Ventura, would you have taken that shot being a Navy SEAL and trained? I think you would have, because that person was not only a threat to you, it was a threat to your fellow SEALs. And that's all I'm saying, sir. I respect you for serving in this country. I love the movies that you did with Schwarzenegger and everything. That was great shit. You know, the bodybuilding and everything, and running for governor, was it, of Minisota? I love Minnesota. I vacation myself up there, sir. But you have to ask yourself, sir, the people of America voted for peace in the streets and do away with bad and corruption. Now, we might be weeding these people out. Now, any civilized country, you know, if they said, you know, our police are looking for bad people, they will be coming to your house and taking you. You'll have your day in court. You might be locked up for a day, whatever it is, you know. You might be able to be bailed out, whatever it is. But these agents will be in that area doing their jobs, because we live amongst bad people. You know, most of us are like, do your jobs, right? You'd have to be doing very bad stuff to be on these guys' list, is what I'm saying, Mr. Ventura. Now, we hope to see you run again for the great state of Minnesota, because you got some good points. We've always been a third world country. When we started bringing other people in from other countries, we began to become a third world country. And I would say you probably agree with that this has been around for a long time. You know, we got a lot of legal people here that are wanted in their countries, but now they're here. We got a lot of other people from other countries. I don't know if you know this, Mr. Ventura, but they literally eat people's bodies. So that's my question to you, sir. Let's continue to listen to this video. And they're just doing their jobs. If a police officer was standing in front of that vehicle, would that police officer have taken a shot? His life was in danger. Now, we also have a problem with AI, because now they're dividing us with AI. There's footage out there of AI. No one's standing in front of the vehicle. You know, there's footage out there of someone saying what's AI and what ain't. Now you're dividing automatically right off the bat. We're dividing. People are seeing nobody in front of the vehicle. That ICE agent killed her. And then people on the other side of the world are seeing, oh, look at, there's a guy right in front of her vehicle, and she floors it. Yeah. We live in a world of division. Satan's great accomplishment to divide us. No, I won't fall for it. Let's continue to watch this video. Once again, thank you for your service, Mr. Ventura. I'm also a family, military family. Never was in. Family was. And sometimes, you know, that's like being in the military.
to bolster his point of living in a dictatorship, there are many, many, many examples of ICE. Here's just a few of people's experience with them.
Now they're sitting here raiding the motherfucking house. Hey, you ain't supposed to smack him like that. The fuck is wrong with you? Hell no, man. I'm on my property. I ain't gotta listen to you. Hey, you ain't got a search warrant. You can't come over here, man. Hey, look, I got you all on camera right now. I'm on my private property. Hold on, man.
Now, see, when in a country, even in a third world country, no matter what country you're in, when the government comes out and says they're running operations with government agents and military groups or whatever, that they're looking for certain people, yada, yada, yada. What happens in them countries? Well, they let them do what they want because they're looking for people that are very, very bad, right? It's not the regular working citizen, old person or disabled, whatever. You know, they're doing a job, you know, and we've seen this on the internet so many times where these people in these countries were screaming out, it's so dangerous over here. And then finally someone cleans up the streets and everything. And they complain, well, you're breaking the rule. You know, well, do you want to live in peace and be able to sleep at night, not worrying about people breaking into your house or your kids being killed outside or whatever? Or do you want madness, right? You got to give up something. And now these people in these other countries are, oh my God, crime is down. It's beautiful again in Kukulaka. You know, yeah. So we're dealing with the same thing here in the United States now. It's always been a third world country. We just have gone along with it because we don't want to die. If we did, we probably would have been dead at young ages. But most of us were raised military. What have you taught? You take orders. Do your job. You'll get through this perfectly. Do your job. And do your orders that are given. And you'll make it just fine in the military. We don't need brains. We need brawn. You know that, Mr. Vanture. You've been there. You trained with the best of them. Let's get back to this video.
Here's another one. Pointing his gun at unarmed protesters. This one I covered in a video about a month ago, where this 23-year-old mother.
Do you understand what kind of point I'm putting out to you folks? The government says we're going to have agents here. And all of a sudden you got all these people coming out to go up against them. Right? If you're a law-abiding citizen, you know, do you want commotion in your life and madness in it? No. You know, there's other ways to protest. When you know there's going to be agents, military agents, government federal agents loaded to the T in a certain area, and the next thing you know, you got thousands of people showing up there. These are the people that I would say love havoc. It's their constitutional right. It is to voice their opinion. That's true. Peacefully, whatever it may be. You surround a bunch of guys that are there to do a job. Now they can't do their job. You're distracting them, obstructing justice of operations within our own country. They ain't looking for you. That, you know, a lot of people are saying, oh, yeah, that you know what, that young lady, Mrs. Good, God rest her soul, she might have thought she was in the right. But any officer, you know, I'm dumb, but I ain't that dumb. When the police are flashing their lights, I pull over. When an officer with his weapon drawn tells you to stop and don't move, you stop and you don't move. Now, is every agent, every police officer good guys? Probably not. But they got the draw on you, is what they say in the Old West, when you're looking down the barrel of a 45. You want to live to see another day, or to fight your case in court that you did nothing wrong and the officer was bad. Well, now this young lady don't have her day in court. But if you look at it as an adult, law-abiding citizen, no matter what side you're on of this political war, did she make the right choices? She knew dang well she was in no danger. What's the worst that would have happened to her? They would have obtained her until they were out of that area and released her. And that's it. Maybe she was wanted for obstruction of operations within the federal government or whatever. And she would have did her time in jail or had her time and she would have been alive. You can't blame an agent, police officer, a father, a mother for taking that shot if they were in front of that vehicle. Let's continue with this. Hello, RC. I know I'm going to get a lot of bad blood around here today for saying this, but you know, I agree with some of the stuff that Mr. Venture talks about. I really do. But him not being on the side of go back to your homes, you got children, and we'll fight this at the polls. We'll fight this on social media. We'll fight this on the TV. We'll fight this at the polls and who we vote for. This havoc in our streets is making this country third world. When did it start? I think it started about when we had the wars. After World War II. Or like World War, I think it was Vietnam, is when we really started seeing protesters in the streets. Before then, this whole country was on board with our beloved Mother Green and the butt kicking machine. World War I and II, and the war with Germany, the war with everyone was on board. Yeah. Because it was unconstitutional what they were doing over there. Exactly. Now, let me see what's going on in my chat. I support her, but then I am a European left-wing radical. You're radicalist, huh? Well, they're everywhere. Nothing you could do. I know what you mean, Johnny. These guys are, yeah. There's no point giving them an opportunity to smoke it. No, now, RC, what would have happened, you think, to that young lady? Even if she was causing havoc amongst the operation, if she didn't have no weapons, she didn't hurt nobody, she's got no arrest record, what do you think would have happened to her? You know, I don't know. Did they have a warrant out for her? I think she probably would have been released if she was a white woman. Yeah. not unless she was here from another country. You think after Vietnam, they would have figured it out. Yeah, well, I think that's when these protests started. World War One, World War Two, and more. I think we didn't have protesters. They protested a different way. They did protest, but not into the streets. Shutting down the whole cities and buggies and horses and everything like that. I think it was a certain point in our war history of America is when we started seeing the people in the streets, buildings burning, pushing police, pushing back, people. Yeah. One, that was probably one. All right, let's get back to watching a little bit. It's the great Jessie Ventura of Minisota has got more to say, I do believe, because he always has got stuff to say, and I always listen to him. He's pretty good at all this stuff. Now, these people say in Germany, well, that's right. What happened to the people in Germany that stood up?
Was being chased by ICE down the street. This was only caught because video that happened to Renee Nicole Good and what they're claiming happened, even though we can see with our own eyes what happened. What do you think happened to those 32? Last video here from Jessie Ventura.
How dare Minnesota? We'll take care of ourselves. We don't need federal troops coming in here without warrants.
Some people have said this undermines local law enforcement.
It undermines the entire Constitution. The military cannot be turned loose unless it's a national emergency. They're going to tell me this is a national emergency.
Message for Trump and or message for Governor Walz?
Who was that? You mean the draft dodging coward? I don't call him by name. He's the draft dodging coward who, when it was his time to serve his country, he did what all rich white boys did. I wasn't a rich white boy. I grew up in South Minneapolis. Most of me and all my friends are Vietnam veterans. We had to go. But the rich white boys never had to go, did they? And he didn't have to go, did he? And yet he's going to tell me what courage is?
Are you supporting Governor Walz and Mayor Frey the way they've been outspoken towards?
Absolutely. Good for them and good for these people that stood up. They're teaching their students something, that we are a country, that we have to be a country of law and a country of the Constitution. They're all forgetting about the Constitution of the United States of America. We don't even have it anymore. After January 6th, are you kidding me? And then they all get turned loose, and now they're in charge. I gave up on this country when this guy I haven't even watched the news since last November. I stumbled onto this, and now look what you've done to me.
Well, thank you for stopping. I appreciate it.
Here I was leading a nice, quiet life, and now you've injected me back in here and probably going to make me the governor of Minnesota again.
And you seem fired up and motivated.
Because somebody needs to clean up what the Democrats and Republicans constantly wreck.
I hope Jessie Venture.
All right, Mr. Venture. Hold on, you're no spring chicken again. Don't go throwing on your 1978 wrestling Speedos on and get out there and oil up. Now, I understand what you're saying, sir. So now what you're saying, Mr. Ventura, is that this is a politic madness. That it's our politicians and politics and our system that is creating this. I don't know. You said someone needs to clean up the stuff. Well, how come the police ain't? How come there ain't National Guard out there doing it, picking these people up? I don't know. Is it an emergency? I don't know. We're overpopulated. It's so corrupt. There's more cocaine here than in Cuba. I mean, this is gone really far. Now I see what's going on in my chat. There's cool dude. Johnny puts himself above the law. Nope. That's why Johnny is sitting in his dang apartment. Johnny ain't dumb. I mean, he's dumb, but he ain't that dumb. Now, look at this beautiful scenery. I want to bring you into Upper Peninsulas of our beautiful scenery. Now, don't get me wrong. I like Mr. Ventura, and some of his thoughts and ideas are right. But if ICE don't come in and get these people, who's going to come in and get them? You know they're going to complain no matter who comes and gets these people, Mr. Ventura. You know that. Whether it's the police, whether it's Mary Poppins, whether it's the hamburger himself, there's going to be these people that are going to, you can't do that, you can't do that. You know, and these people that are out there, yeah, it's their right to protest, but they're still breaking laws by shutting down by streets, burning buildings, garbage everywhere. You know that there's laws. That's traffic laws. You can't block a street. I don't know. You know, go figure. If it ain't one thing, it'll be another thing. You know that, Mr. Ventura. You know that. It's good seeing you again, sir. You might be running for Minisota. And that's cool with me. Run. But it's about the people. We're tired of this madness in the streets. Gangs, clubs, taking over everything, killing innocent people, bringing in the drugs, bringing in the people, kidnapping ours and putting them out on the street to make $1. I don't have to tell Mr. Ventura that. He knows that. But what do? Nothing. Nothing. They're here to do a job. These are very bad people. They're here illegally. Some of them ain't. Some of them are treated with great respect. Ask some of them. They get arrested and they're treated and taken, if they have kids or whatever, and they're taken and properly. It's these real bad guys that are in these bad neighborhoods that belong to this M22, M13, M whatever it is, gangs, and other illegal gangs and clubs within America. And Mr. Ventura knows that also. Right? I'm starting to think some of these people don't want this to happen. Why? Because they're affiliated. Because they're affiliated with it. They're making money. Yes, he does great. He does great impressions. He does great impressions of Ventura and Steven Seagal. Oh, that dude is hilarious. He's hilarious. But this is my opinion. I'm just reporting on it. And I got people coming into my chat saying, look at this kind of stuff they're saying about me. I'm a United States citizen. My family served for the government. And if they were corrupt, then they were. I wasn't. I might be the only one in this country that's not corrupt. Maybe it's possible. Now, I'm sure there's others, and I can say this: all glory to God that we can still say we live in the United States of America before they change that. And all we got to do is sit back and watch, and you can see people that love commotion, violence, and havoc. You know, if you're not wanted, why are you out there protesting against these people doing their jobs? Now, we've seen this in Vietnam and other wars before. That'd be interesting to look of when did America fall off of supporting the United States and Mother Green and the butt kicking machine. I know World War I, World War II, everybody was, yeah, let them do their jobs. And, you know, I don't know. JFK assassin, yeah, RC says. All right, so there we go. Now, once again, I don't disagree with Mr. Ventura on some of the stuff he is saying. Some of the stuff, yeah. We've been a third world country for a while, but if you don't have laws, if you don't have peace within your country, if you don't have civilized people, then your country will never stand. Like I said, there's levels of everything. Crazy, 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 cuckoo crazy. Oh boy, Hitler crazy. And we can go on and on. So, I don't know. Take it with a grain of salt. I'm an idiot. I still pray that God helps us with this stuff. Out of everything first, and heals us all in Jesus' name. If we at least get peace, I'd be happy with that. Prosperity, I'd be happy with that. You know, I'm at peace. You know, I lived in America enough to where if you indulge in this 24/7, you'll be one of them. Your whole life will dwindle around you. Your apartment will be, or your house will start getting dirty. Everything, yeah. I'm not going there. All right, folks. We will be back with more information. I want to thank RC for showing up. I want to thank even Cool Hand Luke Dude for showing up. Who else showed up? And if that's all, hey, I'm happy with that. Excuse me. Now, we got temps that are going to be dropping. We got wind, cold weather, snow, ice, rain. Hunker down. God bless everyone. All glory goes to God. And I can see the Lord's going to have to save us from this madness. Have a good day, folks, and thank you very much.